Hey teacher friends, welcome back. I am Nina Rodriguez and you are watching Misfit to Teach, where I talk about all things teaching and how to stay mentally, physically, and emotionally fit to teach. So just before I make this super quick video, because I've got to scat here pretty quick. If you haven't already joined our small but mighty community, please do so by hitting the subscribe button below and the notification bell, because we try to come together every week and talk about a variety of teacher topics. So really quickly, kind of where we are in the midst of the school year. I think this is a really important time to start reflecting on our teaching practices. If you are similar to my district, you either have or are about to close out the first semester. If you are like me, you gave your students mostly busy work today because you spent the day crunching numbers. But nonetheless, I wanted to make this video really quickly today because first of all, we're in sort of the dead of winter. The days, of course, are shorter. The weather in most parts of the U.S. is significantly colder, and the holidays are over. So I think for most districts, this is the longest, most challenging stretch of the school year, because of course the next meaningful break would be spring break, and I think this is where we start to feel the pressure and the push and pull is starting to take our toll on us, right? So in terms of what we can be doing in our classrooms day to day to make this easier on us, any way that you can automate your grading, if you can have your students do peer-reviewed classwork, if they can work in partnerships, that's going to make things a little bit easier on you at this time of the year. And we also want to be mindful that just the same as you and I are kind of struggling a little bit at this point of the school year, so too are our students. So we want to do our best to be easy and a little bit generous with our grading practices without giving the whole farm away. And what I mean by that is try to afford your students multiple opportunities throughout the 9 weeks or the 6 weeks, whatever the quarters look like for you. Try to afford your students multiple opportunities to where they can either complete an assignment that you give, or they can revisit an assignment to which they didn't do very well. This is going to be really, really meaningful, not just for your grade book, but for students who may be struggling at this time of year. As for ourselves, I think it's important to have some winter rituals, self-care routines in place, things that we have to look forward to, both in our personal lives and as much as we can, like in our classrooms. Have things and sights and sounds and smells that you can look forward to as you're going from home to commute to classroom and back, to where these things are not completely daunting and miserable for you. And as we wait on warmer weather, check in with your students. This is a wonderful time to rebuild some relationships, to sort of stop in the middle of our hardest units and lessons, and just kind of shoot the breeze with your students, asking them how they're doing, what they're up to. Are they in a winter sport? How's our school teams doing? I love to take a moment, at this time of the year, and to really have conversations with my students, because we've been through enough at this point. We know enough about each other to where we can start to see some change and some growth, and to sort of like reflect and tell funny stories about who they were in August versus who they are now, and weaving everything that we've learned as much as possible like into their everyday lives, seeing what they remember from our lessons and how they're implementing it in their college essays or their schoolwork in other classes. I think it's so great to just stop and touch base at this time of the school year and kind of see where everybody is. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in. As I said, I'm going to skedaddle here in a second because I've been crunching numbers all day, so my brain is fried, as it's like this at the end of every quarter. But do leave a comment in the comment section below, telling me how you are doing personally at this time of year and what some of the rituals are that you might have, to where you keep things, interesting, or at least keep everybody's heads above water as we go into the second semester. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, do all you can to stay fit to teach. Be well.